Okay, everybody. Whoa, you broke me out of that trance. Welcome to another episode of Defending My Collection, the video series where I show off my Blu-ray collection. And this would be, I believe, season 3, right? Because the A to Z's, the big 20, 30 part 5-hour each video was like season 1, and the 3D movies were like season 2, and this is the crap load of pickups from last year and this year so far would probably be season 3 or series 3 for you UK viewers. The UK and I don't know, maybe other countries, when they're talking about series, they go series instead of season. Anyway, yeah, I'm back. Part two, as it were. And I was thinking this was going to be it, part 1 and part 2 of the pickups, but as I was getting all the movies together, I was like, no, that's way too many movies. And I think we're going to split it all up into a 3-part series, because I do have maybe 3 more movies coming. That I'll probably add in there, and then I'm kind of taking a hiatus on buying for a while because there really isn't much coming out that I need to rush out and get right away, and I need to save up some money because I got something going on that I need to do. But yeah, I figured let's show off some of the stuff that isn't in the Defending series, and they are pretty much all updated movies I had recently purchased. Not recently, last year. Everybody's saying, just get on with it and show the damn movies. We know what you mean. Yeah, so I guess we'll just get on with it. Don't know how long this is going to go. I didn't know how long the last one was going to go, but you know old Raj, I like to talk. Got the old drinky winky. And our first catch of the day. Yeah, these are all in no particular order other than my purchase order. From the oldest to the more recent purchase. So these are old. These are old so far. These are all have been bought last year. But yeah, I believe I had this in my first Defending series in the F area, and I was kind of waiting for the price to come down on this because it's only like a 12 part episode series, and it's like to pay more than 20 bucks for one of those, you know, like Game of Thrones, you know, it's only 10 episodes and they want 60 bucks for it. It's like, are you mad? What? So, as with some other series, which I'm going to show. So this was season 2, or see, now it isn't season, isn't it? It isn't series. It's year 2 of Fargo, the television series, which is a pretty damn fantastic show. When they were talking about doing a television version of Fargo, I was like, that movie is such a great Coen Brothers flick. It's perfect from beginning to end, and there's no way you can redo that. And the first season, the year 1 came out, and the first couple episodes were kind of like, yeah, they're just doing the voices and they're doing the caricatures, and Martin Freeman's kind of being the William H. Macy character. But if you really watch it, and I just rewatched it recently, it's brilliant. It's so well written, so well put together for a first season, for a television adaptation of the Fargo area where crimes happen. Year 2 blows that one out of the way. This one is fantastic because it takes place in the 70s, and there's a lot of great 70s music in it, and you got this warring, this war between this old-time gang. They're not gangsters, but they're criminals against this new group that wants to come in, and then there's this couple that gets mixed up in between them, and then you got the sheriff, and Ted Danson's fantastic in this one. But anyway, very, very good. check it out if you haven't seen it. There's the back. I'm going to do this. I again watched, you know, I was going to say, you know, everybody shows them off, everybody buys them, so why do they show them off? And it's like, no, I'll just flow right in with everybody else and show you everything, open it up and all that. X-Men Apocalypse 3D, right? I watched it in 3D. Of course it's 3D. Comes with the slipcover. Ooh, exciting. There's the back. And when you open it, there's the thing you shouldn't see. The artwork's kind of nice on the Blu-ray, and then the 3D one, it's different. I actually like the Blu-ray one better than the 3D. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. It's miles away, actually. So, X-Men Apocalypse. Again, picked it up mainly because it's a 3D film. Not a big fan of the X-Men movies. Really not. I only have the two 3D movies. The two 3D movies, and then the last one before that, the Youngins, whatever that one was. What the hell was that one called? See, I'm not that big of a fan, but this was all right. It was you know, it was what every superhero movie is now. It's just big, loud, bombastic, special effects, extravaganza, people flying through the air and powers and. You seen one superhero movie, you seen them all. I know, sacrilegious, sacrilegious. This movie I actually watched when I first got it, and I really don't remember much about it, which is kind of sad, but I watch a lot of stuff, sometimes 2 movies a day. A day. I don't wait like the weekends. I watched like all the time, including TV shows in between. But this, I had no idea what this was about. And I bought a movie, I don't remember what it was, and this trailer for this movie was on it. And I was like, this looks really fun. And I really like Patrick Wilson, and we'll get to him in another movie recently, but I think he's kind of cool because he can do serious, like a la The Mist, and then he can do some goofy, crazy stuff. And this is with him and Katherine Heigl. Katherine Heigl. Home Sweet Hell. About him finding out his wife is like this serial killer, and it's pretty damn entertaining from what I remember. Like I said, I remember very little of it, but I remember while I was watching it, not so cheapo-weeko, I really enjoyed it. So Heigl. So check it out if you get a chance. It's like $5 now. It's real super cheap. Super cheap. This one I was surprised at. I actually heard really good things about this, and then I also heard really bad things because it's not your typical zombie movie. Where are the zombies? How come there's no action in it? This is boring. This is depressing. And that's why I loved it. Maggie Schwarzenegger, man, coming back, doing something really, something he has, I don't think he's done. Even End of Days was more action-oriented. This might have been his very first drama, not counting the brand new one that's coming out, or has been out, where the family dies and he wants to find the murderer. Sounds very familiar to that Nicholson, Sean Penn movie where the accident happens and then he wants to go and find the guy. Anyway, Maggie, really, really enjoyed this one. Really heartbreaking, and some really well-written stuff. There's a conversation between him and I believe it's the chief of police or the sheriff of the area, and they're talking about whether they let her go or you know, the shotgun is faster, you know, and really enjoyed it. I think most people have this. I don't know if they've watched it recently. And it's a cheapo-weeko. Hey, I haven't said that in a while. And I got the old thingamajigger, which I don't give away to anybody, just because. Liked it, really liked it. Well done. Well done, Arnold. This is another one that I saw the trailer for, and I was extremely intrigued. I was like, why haven't I heard of this movie? And then I did a little poking around on the web, and everybody was talking about, not everybody, but a lot of the film festivals were really saying this was a fantastic little love story, a la Monster Story. Spoilers on the cover, come on. If you went in seeing this as just a normal movie and not knew anything of the plot, my God, it would have been spectacular. Spring. Really liked it. And again, I'm not going to say anything about this. And it's very cheap. Just order it, watch it, rent it, see it on Netflix, whatever, and give it a chance. Don't watch a trailer. Don't read about it. Just get it and watch it, even though the cover is just... Why do they do that? You know, especially... When I did Down Low, well, I don't want to get into that, but it's like you have... This is our movie that we created, and we have a twist in it. We're going to a place nobody's going to expect, and when that part comes, or when that situation happens, we want the audience to just, oh my God, you know. But studios or sponsors or producers say, well, you got to add to this demographic, like with Down Low. You have to tell people what it's about, so this demographic will watch it. Otherwise, they'll just think it's this. Just like this, people will just think this is a simple love story. But let's put spines on our back and make people go, what is this, a monster movie or something? What the hell? Is this like Species? Same with From Dusk Till Dawn, you know? Imagine in Planet of the Apes, I said the same thing. If Planet of the Apes didn't have the original, Charlton Heston, didn't have the name Planet of the Apes and just called Outer Space Lunacy or Taylor's Adventure, something like that, and you go to the movie and you see it and all these astronauts, oh, they're landing, oh my God. When the apes show up on horseback, you're going to jaw drop and go, what the F is happening? Just like the characters From Dusk Till Dawn. You got the Gecko, well, it isn't the Gecko Brothers. It is the Gecko Brothers, right? They're brothers. And they're having this crime and they're robbing banks and that, and then all of a sudden there's vampires. And you're like, what the F is happening? They shouldn't have given that stuff away. That's me. That's me. I'm an old fart, and when we saw movies in the past, you just kind of, you liked to be surprised. Just like Taxi Driver. You know, you see ads from that, and you see him bloodied, and you see him with the mohawk. If you didn't see any of that stuff and just went into the theater, and you got this drama about this cab driver, and you're like, is he crazy? What's going on, you know? Don't give away stuff, folks. And that's the trouble with trailers now. Why I don't watch anything, is because they just give everything away. All right. I bought this just because it was in 3D. That's all I'll say. I'm sure everybody has it. There you go. That's all. Got nothing to say on this. Really got nothing to say about this. I don't want to polarize anybody. Oh, now, I had no idea this movie would come out. When I was a teenager, my parents were very liberal, as it were, and they said, you know, I would say, Mom, there's a new Dracula movie. Let me go to the theater and see it. Okay. And I'm like 12 years old, and they let me walk a mile to a movie theater all alone, down the street, not side streets, busy streets, cars, traffic, boom, boom, bam. Could be criminals, pickpockets, homeless people out there, and you go to the theater and you get your popcorn and your cola, and you see a bloody, gory movie like The Corpse Grinders or 2000 Maniacs or something like that. And then you come home and, hey, Mom, it was a good movie, thanks, blah, 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 and you went down in your basement and you built a model kit or something. One of those movies that was very titillating to me, it was one of those first movies that I was like, I think I saw it twice or 3 times. I went back, and then whenever it would be like on late night television, I would watch it, and they cut all bits of the nudity out. There isn't a lot of nudity, but it's a pretty erotic foreign film that has always stayed with me. And when they announced it on Blu-ray, I pre-ordered it instantly and just was like, I gotta see this thing again, uncut. The House That Screamed. Man, you got girls' school, you got nudity, you got sadomasochistic, you got lesbianism implied, you got perversion, a guy crawling through the vents to peep on women, you got a murder mystery happening, and then the ending is, again, one of those things where an ending happens and you're, holy frack. And imagine being like 12 years old and seeing something like this. Some very beautiful women in this thing. I forgot who released this. Oh, this is Scream Factory. So it has the reversible sleeve in it with the original poster art. But I like the new art, actually, to be honest. Because this kind of gives it away too much as a murder mystery. Where this, well, he does have the knives, but it just, I like that. That's cool. And that scene is, when I was a little kid, I didn't know what the hell was going on. I was just like, oh man, I'm so sorry for the girl in the movie. Beautiful actresses. This not like a Argento, but similar. You know, very. It's giallo. You know, I don't even know if it's Italian. I have no idea. Oh my God. There are things now when I'm older where it's like I don't need to fill my file case up there of everything about this movie. It's just like I remember this from my childhood. I got some very interesting memories, and when it came out, just like a few other things which are coming out. One Dark Night is finally coming out. Oh my God, I've been waiting for that forever. And I think it's Vinegar 6. Is that what it's called? Or it's the one who did Ticks. That company. They're doing One Dark Night. That was like one of my favorite horror zombie films. Anyway, this I never seen. When it was originally out because I was way too young, but being downtown and passing those classic movie theaters that you kind of see like in the Blues Brothers, the United Artists, the Chicago, the Woods, saw posters for The Stewardesses 3D. And being that I'm a 3D fan, when Kino Lorber actually did, I don't know, does 3D Film Archive had something to do with this? I can't see because I don't wear my glasses on and my eyes are going. But anyway, and it's got a fantastic short in here, tons of pop-outs. Back when they were making 3D movies that really were 3D movies, you know, things coming out of the screen, breaking anything basically in the 80s. Although the 80s they went too extreme to the point where things started getting cross-eyed. You know, like your Parasite, your Metal Storm. Metal Storm was in 3D, I think. Yeah. Your Coming At You, your Jaws 3D. It was things started getting cross-eyed. But this was 70s, I believe, and they were still doing some good stuff, a la like the 50s 3D, the big heyday where the 3D was fantastic. Anyway, Stewardesses 3D. Soft-core porn, as it were. Little titillation here, little titillation there. Yeah, and very dated. I mean, I grew up in that time of the 70s, so I was very familiar with the way people dressed and acted, and everybody smoked, and so I relate to it, even though I was a little kid back then. Yeah. Very, very surprised by this. I actually really, really liked this movie. Knew nothing. Well, I knew of the game. Never played the game. Never wanted to, because I don't like those games that are over. You look down on things and the battles and stuff. Put me first person. Put me some other way. But this I got, and it's the 3D. Again, it was one of those things where, well, it's a 3D movie. It's on the to buy list. Eventually, when it comes down in price, I didn't buy this full price. I bought. I waited till it to come down, and I was happy I got the slipcover. Ooh. But no, I enjoyed this. I thought the 3D was pretty adequate. Pretty entertaining. The story I had no problems with. You know, you look at a cover like that and you see the trailer and you're like, I know what I'm getting when I'm going in to see it. And I expected it and I got it and I was happy with it. And, you know, let's move on. I should have got a tissue. Tissue. Oh, here's. Excuse me. Those old allergies. All right, another one of these 3D, but this is Twilight Time. This was done by the 3D Film Archive, I do believe. Oh, I forgot this has a Three Stooges 2 shorts on it. I gotta rewatch those. Anyway, like I said, without my glasses on, I can't see close anymore. I gotta go like that. And then when I go like that, the print is so small I can't read it. Anyway, Vincent Price, how can you, you know, and I was speaking about the heyday of 3D, you know, House of Wax and Inferno and things like that. The Mad Magician was a film that I've always heard about being a horror fan. Growing up, Famous Monsters, Filmland, Castle, Frankenstein, stuff like that, for Monsters Only even, magazines. Monster Kid here, yay. But I never seen it, and I always knew it was a 3D movie, and maybe, no, I was going to say maybe in my mind, I was like, I don't want to watch it until I see it in the 3D the right way. I was kind of like that with House of Wax, and then I was very happy when they reissued House of Wax in 3D with the red and green glasses, and I went and saw it, and it was really kind of fun. I think that was in the 80s they brought that back. But anyway, Mad Magician, beautiful black and white cinematography. Twilight Time released it. Twilight Time is now sticking its toe into the 3D releases. Twilight Time is one of the best companies that gives you those very obscure films. Here's the inner bit. And the disc has wonderful art on it. It's just a cover. And it comes with a little tiny book. A tiny little book. A little tiny one. It has little tiny pictures in it. But it's like a, you know, it's like Criterion's younger baby brother. But they are expensive. Twilight Time, man, 30 bucks a movie, and sometimes all you get is a commentary and an isolated music score. But it's the only way, and they're you know, limited to like 5,000 copies, 3,000 copies, something like that. So if you want it, you got to get it, because you don't know if any other company's going to pick it up and resell it. Kind of like Christine. And was it Christine? I think that was the one that Twilight Time released, and everybody went crazy, and it sold out. And then they brought it out. Another company just brought it out for like 10 bucks. It's like, I should have waited. Damn it. Anyway, Mad Magician, I liked it. Again, some really great depth, pop-out 3D. And there's something about black and white 3D. There really is. It's, it really, I don't know. For me, it really enhances it. It's odd. Color, you know, is color, and there's 3D, but for some reason, I don't know. Again, growing up, watching black and white television, watching black and white movies, maybe to see the depth in them is a very unique thing for me, and something I really like. I had made a little video about this, and it was, never mind. Force Awakens 3D, the big, great special edition with the beautiful what do you call it? Oh, this has that sleeve. I'm not gonna. You've seen this. You've seen people open it. You've got this. Maybe not the 3D one, but I'm not gonna go into it. I made a big joke when it came out, when it wasn't 3D, about how I'm not going to buy it, and everybody rushed out and bought it. And I made a little video saying, well, I'm going to wait until it's 3D comes out. Yeah. And I got like 20 down thumbs. Nobody liked my video. And then they came out, and I got the Steelbook. I think I showed that in an earlier pickup. I picked up the Steelbook because it was 3D, and then... No, it wasn't 3D. That was a 2D. Yeah, that was the 2D. I did eventually buy it. That's right. Even though I said I wasn't going to buy it because I wanted it. You know, it's The Force Awakens. It's Star Wars. And then they finally announced this beautiful edition. I love that feel, that like suede type feel. And it's a beautiful set. It really is. And 3D is okay. You know, nothing for me to yell about. It's got some really nice moments, but I like good 3D, and that was okay 3D. Well, no, that was great 3D. It's not fantastic 3D. That's great 3D. Marvel is more or less good 3D. This show, I don't know how many people are watching it. I think there's a select few, and it's grown this huge fan base. When I saw the first season, when it was aired, well, the main reason I watched it because I loved Community, the show Community, which is it still pisses me off that there's no Blu-rays of that series. It was shot in HD, it was broadcast in HD, and they only released the DVDs. And I can kind of understand why, because the ratings were all up and down, and then they finally canceled it. So they probably figured no one's going to buy the Blu-ray of the entire series. Community people, there's fans out there that would love it and buy it. Anyway, so Dan Harmon went along and he created Rick and Morty, which I didn't think I was going to like because the premiere episode felt too much like Back to the Future, like they were making fun of it. But once you got into the show and realized how clever the writing is, the science fiction creativity in the show is freaking phenomenal and hilarious if you really stay with it and are quick enough to get all the jokes and all the things. And this is season 2. Season 2 just finally came out, and well, it was out. I just waited for the price to come down because cheapo eco, because for some things I wait till the price to come down. I very rarely do I, unless it's something like I said, Twilight Time or Scream Factory, something that might be very rare and you better pick it up because you're gonna not get it again. I'll buy it right away. But things like this, I know it's gonna, even if it didn't have the slipcover, I don't care. Slipcover, schmipcover. But I knew this show was still going to be out there on the shelves, and when it came down, I think it was $14. I was like, there you go. I'll pick up season 2. I got season 1. I'm going to get season 2. Here's another one. I waited for the price that came down, and it came down very fast. And I think it's because nobody wanted to see it, nobody bought it, nobody cared about this movie. Yet it was nominated for one of the best animated films of last year. And to be honest, I haven't watched it yet. I haven't watched it, but it's the 3D edition of Kubo. Kubo and the 2 Streams with the nice lenticular slipcover, which isn't very lenticular. It's okay, but it's not the best. Here's the back. Damn, these are annoying. I gotta keep taking them out. Boring discs. Got the Blu-ray, got the 3D Blu-ray. But yeah, I have maybe 4 or 5 3D movies that I've picked up that I haven't watched yet. I don't know what I'm waiting for. Just haven't gotten around to watching them yet anyway. So I hear this is really fantastic, and it's not your basic, it's not your basic CGI, you know, Pixar type animation. It's more of a Wallace and Gromit or Caroline, you know, where they use actual little puppets and different heads. Box Trolls, I think, is like that. Anyway, so I'm curious and want to see this eventually. So eventually. Here's one from Twilight Time, right? No, this is Kino Lorber. That's another one. Kino Lorber puts out some beautiful stuff, man. I think they're the ones that do the silent movies, like the Charlie Chaplin and things like that on Blu-ray, and they clean them up. I believe Kino Lorber did Metropolis. They do a lot of the silent films. I think that was it. And this is one of those films that I believe it was released in the UK and possibly other countries. And I had to complete my collection. I have one of these obsessions with Ray Harryhausen, the special effects wizard. And to a point, there were only 3 movies that were not released for a long time. One of them were, and that was through Twilight Time, and that got out of print. And it was like $75, $100 if you want it. Although I found it in the UK with maybe a little more extras on it. And I'm talking about Sinbad and the Eye of the Tiger. I don't know if it's in this one or the next one. It has more extras, and it was only like 20 bucks. So I got it. Anyway, I'm talking about 1 million years BC. Raquel Welch. I know it's Raquel. And Harryhausen, special effects. Really, really good. I freaking love Harryhausen films. Every single freaking one of them. There's your boring discs. It's got the US cut and the international cut with more nudity and violence. Now, there's no nudity. Maybe a nip slip or something. But anyway, it's just an extended version. But yeah, I had to complete my Harryhausen collection, and I have. I finally have every single movie Harryhausen has worked on. And we'll get through, we'll get to 2 others as we go on, this one or next video. But anyway, yeah, 1 million years BC, love it, it's great. This thing, I was so disappointed being a 3D fan, and I don't give a damn what critics say. You know, I'm a movie fan. I'll watch everything, even if it's a bad movie, and the critics pan these movies. And I kind of it was in that period where I just didn't have the money, and every once in a while something would come down, and Best Buy had a steelbook of the first movie, and so I bought that. And then Best Buy didn't have the steelbook to the second movie, so I went to the UK and bought the second movie on a steelbook, so I'd have the 2 steelbooks. And unfortunately, it was a fatter. They did not match, and I was like, damn it. Third movie came out, nobody had a steelbook. I was so pissed off. And I knew that they released a full trilogy of the extended editions in 3D of The Hobbit. The extended editions, the 3 movies. And it was out of print. It went out of print so frickin' fast, and I didn't have the money to buy it at the time. So I waited, and I was like, oh, fretting. It's okay. Oh, it's still out. I don't have it. And then all of a sudden I started looking around, and then the UK, they released it, and I got it for like 40 bucks. The extended 3D editions of all 3 Hobbit movies. And of course I ordered it. And it's beautiful. It's very much like the regular Hobbit set. And I'll show you, in there are the discs. The Desolation of Smaug is still out on my shelf. I have yet to put it away. I just watched that recently. And they don't have the black cases, unfortunately, like the original Lord of the Rings. I really kind of wish Jackson, they're not going to do it, but it'd be really kind of nice to see Jackson go back and convert the 3 Lord of the Rings movies into 3D. So at least you got the entire thing. I heard bad things, and I watched the first 2 movies. I enjoyed it. I'm enjoying the saga so far. And in another couple of weeks, I'll probably, well, more than likely, I'll watch the 3rd one. What is it, Battle of 5 Armies? Battle of 5 Armies, yeah. And I'm watching them all for the first time, and I'm enjoying it. I'm loving it. So I got that finally in my collection, that big old binder. Oh, these 2, I'm a fan. I'm a fan. And again, this is a situation where I waited for it to come down, because they were selling these things for 40, 50 bucks, and it's like, come on, they're not that, why is it so high? And then sales come along, like Black Sunday, Black Friday, Black Sunday. Black Sunday is a great movie. Where is that? Robert Shaw, Bruce Dern with the blimp, with all the nails and crap on the explosion in the football field. I loved Black Sunday. And then there's the Barbara Steele Black Sunday, which is a whole nother thing. Anyway, yeah, I'm a fan of the show. Each season have really good moments. Each season have really sucky moments. But I'm watching every season. I actually liked the last one, which was a reality TV type thing. I'm talking about American Horror Story. I got the Coven. Where's American Movie on Blu-ray? Come on, that's such a great movie. Viewers, if you've never seen American Movie, the documentary, I can't think of the guy's name, the filmmaker's name, the documentary of him trying to make a movie called Coven. It's Coven, damn it. It's Coven. It's such a brilliant film. And again, I got to do that. Why aren't these? Well, my DVD collection is coming up soon. And the majority of my DVD collection are movies that are so great that I'm like, why the fuck is it not on Blu-ray, damn it? Anyway, so yeah, I got Coven. What do I remember about Coven? Oh, Stevie Nicks, that's what I remember about it. Her showing up, and Kathy Bates losing her head, and the witches. And then I had to get Freak Show. Yeah, Freak Show, another... They're going to do a Freak Show, American Horror. It's going to be so great. And the first couple episodes with the clown was so fantastic. What the hell? What the hell? I mean, it's still okay. It's still good. It has some really creepy scenes in it. Very stylized, and, you know, but waited for it to come down in price. Picked it up. So now I got all of these, and I don't have Hotel. Is that the one with... No. What's her name? The singer. But anyway, you know who I'm talking about. Lady Gaga. Don't have Hotel yet, because Hotel is like way up high. Wait for that to come down. And then, like I said, the last one I really enjoyed. I don't know if that's even released yet on Blu-ray. What was it called? Anyway, Head to Tree. This show, I heard about this show, and see, that's why I'm not doing. This is long enough. I'm going to have a whole nother video with more. I picked up so much in a year. This show I came across. I heard about it, and everybody was like, "Wow, it's beautifully shot. It's smartly written. It's violent. It's crosses the line. It's a fantastic story. The acting is brilliant in it. You're not going to believe what you're watching when you see it." And I kind of peeked on YouTube and watched a little bit, and they had like the opening scene from the first episode on there. And just that first 5 minutes, I was I gotta see this. I gotta see this show. So through means that I have, I was able to, because it's a European show, UK I believe, or somewhere in that area. Or anyway, so I got them and I watched them, and first season phenomenal. First season, everything they said, the visual. This show, I talk about Hannibal, about being one of the most beautiful shows ever shot, television shows ever filmed. They made horror scenes, death scenes look so beautiful in Hannibal. This show makes every single shot of the film a beautiful frame picture. It's the colors, the style, the camera angle, the camera positions, and the story that unravels through the 2 seasons. Talking about Utopia. Utopia. I'm not going to go into it, and I swear, if you're curious and want to see this, search it out, but don't read anything about it. Don't read what the plot's about. Don't try to. You could watch the trailer. Watch the trailer that's on YouTube just to get a feel of it. It's quirky. It's wild. It's violent as hell. It's beautifully done. It's got some amazing characters in it. It goes places that television shows should never go. And when you finally get through the first 2 seasons and you realize exactly what's happening in this show and why this stuff is all happening, it makes perfect sense, where you're like, yeah, now I'm torn, just like the characters. Should I or shouldn't I? Because humanity, or we take our chances. It's freaking brilliant. It really is. This is up there in, at least in my top 20 of my favorite television shows of all time. Sadly, they canceled it after the 2nd season, leaving it on a brilliant cliffhanger that you need to see what's going to happen next. They canceled it because people were watching reality shows instead of this. There's a huge fan base to this show. There really is. But the majority of the public out there in the UK were watching Dancing with the Stars and things like that. So the ratings were down, and they finally decided to drop it. Then there was an announcement that the producer, director, writer of this show had sold it to HBO, and David Fincher was going to helm it and do kind of a US remake of this thing, which I don't think it would work because the US would not accept things that happen in this to be on television. That's why it's always great to watch foreign stuff. But foreign films go so much where US stuff doesn't. So I didn't think the remake was going to be that good. And then I guess Fincher and HBO had differences, and he dropped out. And so now there's nothing. Although there is a slight petition and a fan group that are trying to, I think, raise money. What do they call that? Where they raise money to get something done, to have the same director, writer come back, same actors come back, and do a 3rd season and wrap it all up. I hope that happens. Utopia 1, available from the UK only. Season 2, only available in Germany. Both have English language. Of course, this has German too, but English. The only other places this is available on Blu-ray, I believe, is from Japan. No English subs. Maybe some other places, no English subs. The only place you can get Utopia Season 2 on Blu-ray is from Germany. Love the black cases. Just to show you. Yeah, I can't praise the show enough. Really. Check around on your Netflix and things like that. See if you can find the show and give it a try. And the music is so weird and quirky, but it's so well done. It's fantastic. 3D movie, not released in the US, but it's released in the UK. I'm gonna buy it. I don't care how good or bad it is. It's 3D. Alice Through the Looking Glass. Picked it up from the UK version. Only place you can get it in 3D, other than probably other countries. I really enjoyed this a lot better than the first one. Totally honest, because so much craziness was going on in it. I actually thought the 3D was better in this one than the original. Don't know why, but I did. Yeah, you know, I love the look of it. I love the queen with the big head, and I don't care for Depp's Mad Hatter. I wish he was a little more nutty, crazy, like a Robin Williams would have been, you know. But hey, it is what it is, and I got it in 3D, and a lot of people in the US don't. Excuse my. Love the 1959 film. Hold on. Just because I'm anal, I just want to say what it is. It is 19. What, you don't tell me? 1950. The Blob, the Steve McQueen movie, The Blob, which I have on Criterion. Criterion released a brilliant, beautiful Blu-ray with some extras and commentaries, which are really interesting. And it looks amazing, The Blob. And I remember seeing this next movie at the theater, Beware the Blob. There's a sequel to The Blob coming out. Hey, let's go see it, everybody. We all went and saw it, and it was just so bad. But it was funny. And I do believe we might have went back a few times to see this, because it played with like double bills, it played with like triple bills. Yeah, back in my day, back in the 70s, they would play 3 different movies. You know, the folks would drop you off at noon and pick you up at 7, you know, and you saw 3 movies. Spent the entire day at the movie theater. Beware the Blob, Godfrey Cambridge, gosh, directed by, wait a minute, why isn't it on there? I'm sure he directed it. I can't see the director. Larry Hagman, you know, Trini from I Dream of Jeannie. He directed this. Burgess Meredith is in this. Who's that other guy? There's another guy in this. There's a couple really well-known character actors in this thing. One of these movies I never thought would ever be on Blu-ray. But thank you, Kino Lorber. Like I said, you know, they bring these obscure movies out and give them the love treatment and put them out there for as long as, you know, they last. I don't think they really repress them. Couldn't think of it. But The Blob, yeah. Whereas the first Blob was like a 50s science fiction serious movie, this one went all comedy. This one went all, I mean, it has some horrifying, you know, blob eating people scenes. Even a kitty, a little baby kitty gets eaten. But the majority of it is all tongue-in-cheek, really funny, and I have a great time. I had a great time watching this, and when I got it, it was so great to see it again, because I don't think it might have been late night television that I saw it, and it was cut. Why was it cut? We were so innocent back then that they had to cut pseudo monster attack scenes, which was weird. Anyway, Beware the Blob, or Son of the Blob, as some people call it. This, to me, is Idris Elba's best television show, best performance in a television show. I know everybody's going, oh, it's The Wire, The Wire. No, no. It's Luther. Luther from the UK. 4 seasons. Whoa! 4 seasons. Front, back, beautiful set, beautiful set. Luther is a detective who crosses the line a number of times to get the crime solved and catch the criminal. Even if it's torturing, even if it is murder, and I can't tell you anything about this show. I want you people to go out there and watch it. I'm sure it's on Netflix somewhere. I'm sure. There's talk of a Luther movie, a theatrical film possibly coming out with Idris. Very short. Like the first season, I believe, is only 4 episodes, I think. I think the second season is 4. I think the third is 3, and I think the 4th season is only 2 episodes, hour long. But the whole series encapsulates a brilliant television show. Fantastic. The guy loses his temper. Doctor Who fans, Paul McGann is in this. Great show. Great show. I can't praise it enough. Yeah, check out Luther, Idris Elba. UK show. Okay show. Check it out. Damn it, my mouth is dry. The water, the ice kind of dissipated the good stuff. 3D movie. No, this was, well, yeah, it is. It's another Kino Lorber. But I believe this, again, yeah, 3D Film Archive. Okay, now I can see it. Remastered, a movie that probably should not have been remastered. But they did, and I'm glad they did, because it's such a great time. Ape. Look at that cover. See Ape. Let me read that. See Ape defy the jaws of a giant shark. See Ape destroy a teeming city. Demolish an ocean liner and vanquish a monster reptile. Look at that cover art. That poster art is brilliant. Look at that. In 3D. My gosh. Again, they really did a good job with this, remastering the 3D. For today's standards, there's no cross-eye effects that I could remember. 3D is really nice. Girls in his head. He says, please, be gentle with me. Oh, it's so bad, it's great. It's one of those so bad it's great movies. Yeah, if you're a 3D fan and have a 3D set, look for Ape. Oh, here we go. This is what I was saying. I didn't buy the Twilight Time version. I was too late, and I looked around and I was like, wow, it's really pricey now. That Twilight Time is really pricey now. And I just started looking in the UK, and I found it, and it was like $18.99, $19.99. It was like, look at the extras. Oh, okay, this is the trailer. Pretty much everything that's on the Twilight Time, except for, I believe, the musical score, which is okay. Sinbad in the Eye of the Tiger. Tiger. Yeah, so I got it from the UK on Blu-ray. There you go. One more to complete my Harryhausen collection. There's one more. I don't know if it's here. It might be in the next video. I don't know. Did you ever just get in one of those moods where you go to Amazon, you look around, or you go to Blu-ray.com and you hit sales and say, what's for sale? Oh, that's for $4.99? Why not? I like the movie. I don't have it in my collection. I haven't seen it in a while, but for $4, I'll pick it up. Don't Be a Menace, which is really Don't Be a Menace in South Central while drinking your juice in the hood. Funny-ass parody film of all the black action and gang films that came out throughout the 90s. And it really is pretty damn funny. So, yeah, for such a cheap price, I figured, why not? I'm picking it up. And it's got a full case. Look at that. Got it. Get it? Got it? Good. I've been saying for years, since I had this on Laserdisc, that to me, this is Gary Oldman's best movie performance, his best acting performance. And Gary Oldman is amazing, The Professional, and Fifth Element, he's a little over the top, and a bunch, Dr. Smith, I hated his Dr. Smith. But anyway, and others. But this was the one that I had heard good things from film festivals about, and I think I saw it. And then when it was on Laserdisc, I picked it up, and I would watch it on Laserdisc with my buddy, and we would be like, my God, can he act? He's great. And of course, what's her name? What's her name? Oh, Lena Olin. Of course, you got a Lena Olin in here, and Juliette Lewis. Anyway, it's Romeo is Bleeding. My God, a great crime drama. Robbery, theft drama type thing. Crooked cop type thing. There's the inside. Twilight Time again. Being that it was Twilight Time, I did pick it up full price. Comes with some nice photos in there. Of course, with Twilight Time, you get a nice background on the cover. And yeah, really, really like this. It's film noirish. It's crazy as hell. His frickin' acting, my God, especially near the end, is amazing. And Lena Olin. There's a scene in a car. That's all I'll say is like, wow. Twilight Time again. One of my favorite, I'll have to say, favorite Westerns of all time. And I don't like Westerns. But the reason I like this Western is because it's a comedy. And I went and saw this at the Marquette Theater on 63rd Street in Chicago when it came out, which was early 70s. Back like when Westworld was out, and Willard and Ben, and all those other great movies. And Twilight Time teamed it up with its sequel, which I had really never seen before. Even when it would be on TV, I wouldn't watch it. I'd watch the first one. And that's Support Your Local Sheriff and Support Your Local Gunfighter. Sheriff, to me, is a hilarious film. It's very TV comedy-ish, meaning you got so many television comedians in here, you know, like Harry Morgan and who's the guy with the eye? The guy with the eye, Jack Elam. So many great character actors. He puts his finger in the gun. What are you doing? Put your finger in my gun. Get it out. Anyway, great set of films. I did watch the second one, and it's really funny. I mean, if you like James Garner, you know, James Garner, Maverick, and what's the other one? Was he in Have Gun Will Travel? You know, Rockford Files. He's just such a great laid-back actor. He was one of our greatest actors. And when he did these, they're so good. They're so great, and old-time classics. great double bill with like a Don Knotts film and Support Your Local Sheriff. It has that comedic type of thing with it. Speaking of the theater, I just said, where I went and saw all these great movies, there was one I went with a few of my friends. I can't see the year. 1972. I was right. It's all in that time, early 70s, when Mom said, go ahead and go on out there. What was 70s? I was 72. I was 12 years old. And I was walking down Main Street to go to the theater with no adult supervision. Going to see Corpse Grinders and all these other gory movies, you know. But I did make time for a movie called Snoopy Come Home. And I loved Snoopy Come Home. And I'm so glad they released a Blu-ray of A Boy Named Charlie Brown, which I don't remember, and I don't know if I've ever seen it. And I haven't seen it since I got this, but boy, when I first got this in the mail, I cracked it open and put in Snoopy, man. The music, I had the soundtrack on album. I used to listen to it all the time. It was so great. I put it on and I was starting to sing along with the songs because I knew all the lyrics. It was so great. The movie's nothing special, you know. It's no Charlie Brown Christmas. It's nothing like that. It was in that time when they're like, well, they're doing good on TV. Let's make a movie, feature-length film, and they did a bunch of those. If I'm not mistaken, A Boy Named Charlie Brown was the first one they released. I think Snoopy Come Home might have been the second. But Little Woodstock, I don't know if that was the first movie where they introduced Woodstock. But anyway, I'm very glad that this came out, and I had to buy it. It's one of those childhood favorites. Here's the back. So great that you got both of them on here. Cool red case. I don't know why they gave it a red case, but they did. And another really cool thing is, since it's two movies, it's 2 discs. They didn't squeeze them all on one disc, which I thought was really kind of cool. And Snoopy come home, Snoopy, Snoopy come home, Snoopy, Snoopy, where did you go? Come home, come home. Strange Brew. Oh man, the Mackenzie brothers, man. Mackenzie? Yeah, I'm right. I say these and then I'm like, wait, was that the right name? Yeah, this is their movie that they did, and it's one of those movies. To me, it's not as funny as like the Cheech and Chong movies, but still being an SCTV fan, watching the show on television, I believe it was on Friday nights or Saturday nights. Classic, great sketch comedy by SCTV. So many great people. John Candy. Rick Moranis, Dave, the guy who did Wendy's. It's the same name, it's not him. And they did a movie called Strange Brew, and this thing was like super duper cheap. Look at, they even got like pseudo stormtroopers to like tie it in like the Star Wars. And it's like a pretty bare, no, it isn't bare bones. Oh, it's got some stuff in there. Making of, wow, trailer. Oh, I didn't know that. Damn nose. Anyway, yeah, it was cheap. It was cheapo eco. And I picked it up. Back when they made poster art, again, painted some beautiful poster art. Which I love great poster art, man. They just, art, like drawing, you know, like, not Stetson, what's his name? My mind. Speaking of ape in 3D. This is not in 3D, but this is King Kong Escapes, a Toho film. Well, it's actually Rankin Bass. You know, your Santa Claus is coming to town, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, that group of people. Did a pseudo-sequel, which is not a sequel to Godzilla vs. King Kong, but it has a very similar look to it. That glare is like everywhere. There we go. And you got Mecha Kong, and the villain's name is Doctor Who. who has no relation to the British television show. He just has the name Doctor Who. And it's got all those cheesy, miniature, guy in costume, man in suit, you know, antics. And unfortunately, this is not the original Japan version with the original language. And I believe this is cut. This has the god-awful dubbing, which, again, I think this was $9, and it was like, well, you know, I got all the Godzillas that have come out, and I'll probably pick up more of the Tohos. I'm waiting for Gargantuas. I'm waiting for Frankenstein Conquers the World, which is War of the Gargantuas sequel. A lot of people don't know that. Matengo, the Mushroom People, I'm waiting for those to come out, and I'm not importing those from Japan. I'm not importing them from Japan. Because they're way too freaking expensive. Ah, we did. The final Ray Harryhausen, The Missing Link, literally, movie. And once I got this, I had every Ray Harryhausen film on Blu-ray. Valley of Gwangi. Dun, 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 dun. Some of his best animation in here, dinosaur animation. What more do you want? Dinosaurs and cowboys and very King Kongish, where they bring him back to the circus and then he escapes. Oh, it's fantastic stuff. I love this movie, and I'm so glad it finally came out. There's a scene with James Franciscus in the church at the end, and he's being pursued, and then he's pursuing the Allosaurus in the church, and there's no music. It's just all sound effects of the, you know, the Allosaurus, and then the pounding of the feet on the floor of the church, and oh, it's freaking amazing. I love Harryhausen. I got them all now, finally. Hurrah, hurrah. Hurrah, hurrah. This actually, you know, there's not even a handful. Like, if I had to sit down and say, what are my favorite Marvel movies? I could easily come up with 5, you know, in an order of what I thought was entertaining. But there's only really 3 that I really, 1, 2, 3, maybe 4, because I did enjoy Civil War, so I'll throw that in as 4. I'll throw in Ant-Man as, no, I'll throw this one, Guardians is 1, Ant-Man is 2, Doctor Strange is 3. And Civil War is 4 of my favorite Marvel movies right now. And I really like the slipcover because it's like see-through. But yeah, this is the 3D version. Picked up the 3D. I thought the 3D was pretty damn phenomenal. Comes with a lenticular little card that I believe was on the back. And a boring couple of discs. But I think that card was like attached with the saran wrap, plastic wrap, and I just kind of stuck it into, it fit perfectly into the disc, into the case. Come on, close it up, and yeah, I enjoyed the story, I enjoyed the acting, the special effects were really great. They were so very much enhanced in 3D, which is the way it should have been. And funny, all those movies I liked were 3D. Guardians, Ant-Man, this, Civil War. Yeah, I liked it. I enjoyed it. Hey, so sue me. Recently I've been really kind of feeling nostalgic, and fortunately they've been releasing a lot of older movies that I grew up watching, either at the movie theater, like I mentioned, or on late night television. and the prices are pretty damn decent with them. They're pretty cheap. So I've been picking them up. Like I showed a few of the Hammer films, the Chris Lee Dracula films, and things like that. And this was a trilogy I saw released, and it was pretty low. And there was only one movie that I've seen out of this. And I figured, well, I'm getting 3. Let me pick it up. And of course, you know, after I got it, I watched the one that I already saw, just because I wanted to see it. And it's a anthology, and I love anthology movies. And it had Burgess Meredith. But I'm talking about Psycho Circus, the triple feature. 3 Rings of Terror. And you got The Brotherhood of Satan. You got Torture Garden, which is the one I saw, and The Creeping Flesh with Peter Cushing, which I haven't seen those first and last one. Cool inside, simple disc. Oh, this is Mill Creek. Mill Creek, not bad. There's some cool poster art. Inserts, as they were called back in my day. They were tall and thin. Which are worth lots now if you can find inserts. Half sheets too, those things are worth a lot of money. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I still have to watch the other 2, but I have been catching up with them. Our last pick of the day here in this video is going to be another nostalgia purchase. Kino Lorber, 3D Film Archive. Anything they come out with, I'm buying because they do fantastic remaster work. Painstakingly, frame by frame, cleaning up as much as they could, color correcting both, because it's the left eye, the right eye. It's 2 images. They color correct that. They completely align the vision so perfectly, so when you're watching it on your 3D set, everything is beautifully 3D. September Storm, movie I've probably never heard of, and I know I never heard of, but boy, it was fun to watch. Underwater, treasure hunters, Joanne Drew, the beautiful Joanne Drew, and I can't think of his name right now, but oh, Robert Strauss, character actor, who you know, if you saw him, I know that guy. He's in everything. Really fun to see because he's always in these little bit parts, and here he's like one of the leads. Anyway, September Storm. Fantastic 3D in this thing, if you ask me. Beautiful remaster. Not a whole lot in there, but thank you, Kino. Thank you, 3D Film Archive. Wanted the 3D version, and gosh, you know, the people who, these companies, they release these movies, and there's a Target exclusive, and a Walmart exclusive, and a Best Buy exclusive, and then there's a Zavi Steelbook, and then there's the UK version, and then there's another one. They all have different covers, and they all have different extras, and they all have different packaging and looks to them, and different slip covers, and this and that. I just want the frickin' movie in 3D, damn it. Just release the damn movie in 3D. And lately I've been just pre-ordering stuff from Best Buy because I've gone to Best Buy and the shelves are empty when a new movie comes out, especially a 3D one. And or if it's a special, you know, packaging. So I was very lucky. I pre-ordered this as soon as it was announced. I didn't care about the other ones. People like the other packaging, that's fine. I thought this is really cool looking. Very simple, very simplistic. But if well, I'm talking Rogue One. I got the Steelbook from Best Buy. And if you watched my Star Wars scrapbook, you know I love the Stormtroopers. The original looking Stormtroopers, and I thought it was kind of cool. How they had those, and then they had, what are those called? I've seen the movie 3 times. I can't remember what these are called. Battle Stormtroopers? I don't know. I just play it by in the movie. That's all. And you know, whatever comes out, and you got the 3 discs. You got 4 discs. Wow. See, I only got it. Pulled this out, put it in, put it back. I don't even look at the other discs. Although I'm going to be watching the extras pretty soon. Just because I'm curious. deleted scenes, bloopers maybe, I don't know. But I thought it was a kind of nice steelbook, pretty nice. Movie, 3D. 3D should have been better. Should have been better. Movie, kind of like a Magnificent Seven. You know, they're all people on a mission. Pretty much what everybody says, I agree. It was great to see Vader. It was great to see how it ties in with the tentative 4 at the very end, the ship at the end that Princess is on. I believe that's called, that's the, I think that's called the tentative, or but yeah, everything pretty much that the people say, what the people say, I agree with. Donnie Yen, I wish was more in it, more battle with him. Yeah, it was all right. It was cool. All right, our last catch of the day, and we're going just almost an hour and a half. And see, I got a whole bunch more. So glad I split this. There'll be a third part. Again, feeling nostalgic. I got tired of waiting for these on Blu-ray, and I finally bit the bullet, and I says, you know what, let me just pick these up. I don't think I have, no, I don't have any of these on Blu-ray, but there are 4 of my favorite Hammer films on here. So I figured out of 8 movies, 4 of them I really like. And that's the Hammer Horror 8-movie collection. This has been out a few years now and came down real nice in price. And when I looked at it, I was like, 8 movies for that price? I think it was only 20 bucks. And I was like, that comes out to a movie. Why not? You know? So, yeah, on here, great red lettering. You got Brides of Dracula, The Curse of the Werewolf. Oh, Oliver Reed. Night Creatures, never seen. Phantom of the Opera, great. Paranoia? Paranoiac? Paranic. P-A-R-A-N-I-A-C. Paranoiac? Kiss of the Vampire, Nightmare, and Evil of Frankenstein. One of my favorite Frankenstein movies with Peter Cushing. The Burgermeister has been murdered. Yeah, love these movies. They're great. And I watched a couple of them already. I watched Brides, which was just so cool. And boy, it just sucks me back to being a kid watching these on the Late Show or the afternoon horror show, whatever it was. And I'm glad they are finally coming out on Blu-ray. And yeah, so I picked them up. And of course, waited for the price to come down, because this was $50, I think, maybe more when it first came out. So I don't know. Anyway, I got it nice and cheap. And there we go, folks. We are done with part 2. Flat. Yeah, so that's part 2 of my defending my collection, a crap load of pickups. Season 2, Series 2, whatever you want to call it. Season 3, Series 3, Part 3 will be coming up shortly, a week or a couple of weeks or whatever. And we'll go through all of those, which are the last couple movies that I've just been recently picking up. And we'll all be caught up. And then I'll probably move on to my DVD collection, which I've been saying for like 2 years now. Excuse me. So, yeah, no need to talk anymore. It's old Roger D on channel Donstar. Thanks for watching. If you like this channel and just came across it, please subscribe, please like, please don't like, whatever. Write a comment down below. What do you think of the movies I picked up? What have you picked up recently? Ask me why I haven't picked up a certain movie yet. And we will chat. Other than that, yeah, that's all I can really think of. Check out my game channel. I have a game channel, although I haven't really been posting for a few weeks. Been kind of busy doing other things, but the link will be up here somewhere. And Donstar Gameplay. And yeah, other than that, I don't know what else is coming. There might be another review. There might be another Matt Hell Monday. Who knows? I don't know. But it will be on this channel when it comes out. So everybody, thanks for watching. Tune in again next week to the next video. And go dry. See y'all later, babe. What? See y'all later, baby. I can't talk. My throat is dry. And I don't want to gulp that. Thanks for watching. Excuse the last 5 seconds because it was just ridiculous. And we'll see you all in the next video. Bye, everybody.